Well, welcome everyone. My name is Brother Davis, Steve Davis, and I'm just going to scan through here. We're happy to have all of you here. Let me tell you a little bit about what's going on this semester. This is actually kind of a new thing because I've taught this class, as I mentioned in my email, for probably 20 plus years. It started out as a regular in the classroom class. It's now migrated to primarily an online class. We've always had about 4 sections and 4 different teachers. All of a sudden, I noticed that we all of a sudden had 15 sections. And so I did a little research. Why did this change from 4 sections to 15 sections? And it's because they've made this a required course for general education. So I'm assuming that's why so many of us are taking the class. That's good news, I guess. It means more of us get to teach it, which is really great. but it's also going to mean something for you. So let me give you a little history about why we have this class. And I'm going to start with this quote by Socrates. Socrates said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." So for the next 13 weeks, we are going to be doing some personal and self-examination. And I hope it's really great. People who've done this before enjoy it. They claim it's helped them. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a document. And I'm going to show you some examples of the document today. The name of the document is your personal creed document. So, and by the way, I want you guys to communicate with me. We've got 31 people on, so it could get a little muddy, but I am absolutely okay if you want to do one of 2 things. Type in the chat a question, or 2, unmute your microphone and we'll talk together. Just make sure that when you're done talking that you mute your microphone back again. But it's a much better meeting if it's not just me talking. So I've got my chat window open, so I'll look for that. But let's introduce you to Inner Victory and David Christensen. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him in a second. So again, I'm watching for questions or listening for questions. But this is the textbook. Now, I've received a couple of email messages that the textbook is out. Has anybody else? Is the bookstore? I walked by this morning through the bookstore and they had like 50 copies still. Has anybody had a problem getting the text?
I am not in Rexburg.
So Hillary, let me say, I'm not hearing you, Hillary.
Oh.
There you go. I can hear you now.
Okay. I'm not in Rexburg, so I guess I would need to go to Amazon to purchase it. Is that what I need to do?
You could go to Amazon, but it's going to be more expensive. So what you need to do is one of 2 ways. Well, one way, but 2 options. And that is go to the university store and order it online, and they'll mail it to you, okay? And you can get it one of 2 ways. One way is paperback, looks like this, or you can get it in an ebook. If you get an ebook, it's just a download, right? And so that'll happen quicker. And David said they were out, but today they have some in. So they've ordered them in. So right now, I'm bad at math. There's, I think, 15 sections of 50 people. So that's 10 times 50 is 500, 750 people taking this class. So they'll order them in. Now, let me talk to you about the book, okay? This is a keeper. Now, you can sell it back if you want, but it is really a great book. It's one that you're going to want to share. And, well, I'm going to watch chat. So Ashley says that she lives in Georgia, and so you were actually able to get it on Amazon cheaper. So that's good. If you can get it on Amazon cheaper, fine, do that, and it'll get to you quicker. So that's good. Brother Christensen is doing his job. He's making more available. But over the next 3 weeks, we're not going to start building your personal creed document for 3 weeks. So for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to cover the basics of the chapter in this meeting, just the basics. So it's not going to hurt your grade or hurt your participation in the class. if you don't get the book for 3 weeks or so from now. Okay? So you're going to be okay. But try to get it as quick as you can. Ebook from the bookstore. From the bookstore ordering it. It looks like they charge shipping, which kind of stinks. And Ashlyn says that she was able to get it through Amazon. So what I'll do, I'm going to send an email out to everybody after each meeting. For most people, well, we have 150 people in the class. So for 34 of you, you're going to see why you're going to be very happy that you watched the meeting live in just a minute. But for almost 120 of you, you're going to be watching this recording. But I'm still going to send an email out, and I'll find the link to the book on Amazon, and I'll send it in the email. So that'll help you. So that's the textbook. There's actually 3 versions of it. This is the newest one. If you find a used one, it might have a different cover, but the book is still essentially the same. Now, let me introduce you to David Christensen. This is David Christensen. He's actually one of my very best friends. We go back a long ways, and you'll learn about David as you read his book. He started out, he's been in church education, but he was also a corporate trainer for, if you know the Franklin Covey world, he was working for the Franklin side of Franklin Covey. And he'd go out and train the world how to be successful. He had a daughter who's handicapped, and that's part of the reason he went to the private sector, is because he could make more money. But once they were able to kind of figure her life out, he came back to teach at BYU-Idaho. So he taught at BYU-Idaho probably for about 15 to 20 years. The problem is they kept calling him away. First, they called him to be a mission president in Chile. He came home. Then they called him to open up an institute, an LDS institute in South Carolina. Then he came home. And then they called him to be the MTC president in Guatemala City. Then he came home and he retired. So every time he kept leaving, then I got to have the really great job of helping build this course for the online version. And so what are we going to do in this class? So again, please feel free to ask or answer questions here. We're going to build a blueprint. Now, if you were to build a home or a shed or a barn, something small or something big, you would want to have a good set of plans. If you have a good set of plans, you're going to build something that is extra good. So Dylan's asking a question. I'm going to look at these questions always. So just, and this, maybe you guys can help me because I don't know if I know the answer. So I'm looking for Dylan, who is saying that his name under his video isn't his. So anybody know the answer to that one? It's probably how you signed in. So anyway.
When I signed into Zoom, it asked what I wanted my name to say.
Okay. Okay.
Initially, it came up with a strange thing,
yeah.
And I just replaced it with my name.
Okay. So Dylan, remember that next time. But we know Dylan is not really Dylan here, so that's okay.
Yeah, you can also click on like your little picture.
Yeah.
Above, and then you can say rename. There's like where it says unmute my audio, pin video, rename, or hide myself. You can click rename and then rename what your thing says.
Okay. So thank you for that. Heather also mentioned the same thing, so perfect. All right. So what we're going to be building the next 13 weeks is your blueprint. It's the blueprint for your life. And this is a really powerful exercise. Now, there's 13 weeks in the class. 7 of those weeks, you're going to build a part of your personal creed document. That means that 6 of the weeks, we won't have a personal creed document assignment. You'll still have other assignments that help you build this out. Now, what happens in 13 weeks is you're going to submit your final draft. 7 times between now and then, you're going to submit what we call your rough draft. So I'm going to show you some examples of each of the parts of the personal creed document right now. Know that what you're seeing is the finished product. So the finished product is what you'll hand in at the end. Now, you will save time if you, as you build it, start thinking about how you're going to want it to look, okay? So here are the 7 parts. Now, I'm going to show you more than 7 pages because sometimes each part is going to, you could have more than 1 page. All right? So here are the 7 parts. Number 1, you're going to create, the best analogy for this is your articles of faith. But this isn't your articles of faith, it's your articles of belief. So here's an example of someone from this class who listed the things that they believe in. They believe in their Savior. They believe in their family. They believe in having a positive attitude. Now, you'll notice, I'm not going to count them. There's like, I don't know, 18 there. There's no set number, right? And you'll be instructed as you go through this. So it could be 10, it could be 8. It's probably not going to be 5. But you're going to think about the things that you believe in, and you're going to list them. There's power in thinking and examining what you believe in. Okay, part 2. Part 2 actually has 2 parts. The first one is you're going to go out and find a mentor. This person was in my class last semester, Rosa, and her mentor is her dad. Now, you're going to have more than one mentor, but you're going to pick one person who's going to be your mentor for this semester. And what you're going to do is ask them a question or two and ask for their advice. And we're going to talk about that. And that's going to be Create Document 2, Part 1. Create Document 2, Part 2 is you're going to create your board of advisors. So if you think about a company, most companies have a board. BYU-Idaho has a board. It's chaired by President Nelson. The vice chair is President Oakes, and the second vice chair is President Eyring. On the committee is Elder Holland, I think Elder Bednar, the young women's president, the young men's president, and a couple of others, a couple from the 70s. So if you were to think about a challenge that you might be having in your life, and you could say, well, who are the people that I would put around the table to help me with this problem? And this is what this student's done. This is also Rosa. She's listed 7 people who are going to be on her board. And you look at the graphic, right? She's on her board, and at the other end of the table, number 7 is the Savior. The Savior is the chairman of her board. Okay, so that's part 2. All right, moving things around here. Okay, pre-document number 3 is you're going to write about the things that make you unique. This is where you're going to list your talents, attributes, abilities, spiritual gifts, whatever you want to list. And this is just an example of a student that took this class. Part number 4 is you're going to list your values. Now, we're going to talk about how beliefs are different than your values, right? But you're going to have a list of 5, 7, 8, 10 things that are really important to you, your values. I'm going to go through this fast because I'm committed to not having these meetings be too long, and I want your questions. The next part is you're going to write your goals down. People who are productive and successful are usually good or have the habit of writing and setting goals. So those are your goals. Now, the next one, I'm going to show you 3 pages, but it's one part. We're going to have a section on gratitude. And gratitude is a really powerful thing in our lives if we are grateful for people who've made a difference. Here's a page of people who've made a difference. Events that have made a difference, we call them switch points. There's some events that have made a difference. And we talk about the value of not holding grudges, of forgiveness. Okay? So those 3 are part of number 6. Okay? And that's going to happen towards the end of the semester. And then the last thing that you create is you're going to write a mission statement. Now, if Stephen Covey was teaching this class, he would say, write your mission statement first. Well, we're going to build up to your mission statement. It's going to be the thing that you do at the end. Those are the 7 parts. Now, what you're going to be handing in, if you look at this example of a mission statement, what you'll hand in for your draft probably won't look like this. It'll be just the words. That's okay. But in the end, you're going to want to make it reflective of your personality, your style, your capacity, your passion, those kinds of things. So that's what we're doing this semester. Are there any questions about personal creed document? So feel free to chat or unmute your mic and talk to me.
So are all of those instructions on Canvas? Like will each, like number 1, 2, have like the instructions for it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Great.
And the 7 times that you do it, the instructions are also in Intervictory. So chapter 3, when you build PCD1, is going to be instructed in the back. So at the end of chapter 3 will be how you could build this entire personal creed document and not be on Canvas 1 second, because it's all in the book. Okay. But we're going to walk you through it also in Canvas, and we're going to show you examples. So when we get to personal creed document number 1, lesson 3, chapter 3, then we're going to show you some examples as well. Okay, Heather, great question. Thank you. Okay, other questions? Okay, we're going to end on a couple things. And at the end of this recorded part, I will stay on if any of you guys want to talk to me, okay, either by chat or just by staying on this meeting. But what I want to talk to you about is my grading philosophy, okay? We have, this morning, 151 in this class, which is big, but that's okay. The only reason anyone of the 151 people will fail this class is if they don't do the work. This is a personal creed document. I'm not going to judge you. I'm saying, oh, but that belief or that value, so just do the work. And it's not hard. Sadly, every semester I have half a dozen people who fail the class. And the only reason to fail is if they just don't do this week's work this week. Most of the things are due on Friday. Okay, so this week you have 4 assignments. You have your icebreaker activity, which is many of you have done, and it's super awesome. Everybody's posting pictures of their huskies. I posted a picture of my bulldog. Okay, that's fine. We'll see who's got the cutest dog. You have your plan for success. You have a syllabus quiz. Now, if you take the syllabus quiz and you get a 3, you'll notice by the end of the week I'm changing it to a 5, okay? Because I don't even know, I don't remember creating the questions, but I'm not trying to trick anybody. I just want to know you've read the syllabus, so I'm not worried about that. And then those 3 assignments are due Friday at midnight. When we get into the next lessons, almost everything is due on Friday except for 1 assignment, and that's your class meeting report and lesson evaluation. Oh, I'm going to come back to that in a second. The class meeting report and lesson evaluation is due on Saturday. Now, when we get to that point, you'll notice this instruction. If you watch the meeting live, which 39 of you are doing right now, okay, 38 counting me, 39 counting me. There's 3 boxes, 1, 2, and 3. All you have to write in number 1 is attended. Okay, that tells me and reminds me that you attended the meeting live. If you watch the recording, then you'll see the 2 arrows there. You need to write a brief summary, 1 paragraph about the meeting, and share your ideas and impressions, 2nd paragraph. So all of you who watch the recording, which is about 110 of you, you'll need to do a little extra work. And I'm not going to it's not a punishment. It's just a little incentive to participate live. Now, we did Tuesday at 7 today. Next week, it might be Tuesday at 5. And the week after that, it might be Wednesday at 8. I'll tell everybody on Sunday when I'm doing the meeting. And the reason I move the meetings around is just to be fair to people, because some people are going to work every Tuesday at 5. They have a job. That means they're always going to have a recording to watch. And so I'm going to move it. Heather's asking, do we usually have the meeting at night? Yes, 5 o'clock-ish or on. Now, there'll be a couple of weeks that I'm going to on purpose do it Monday at 5. And the reason I do it Monday at 5, the last week of the class, the week we do goals and the week we do values, I will do it at Monday at 5 because I want you to watch the recording before you do the PCD assignment. Because for some reason, it's vague enough that it'll just be better if you participate in the meeting or watch it live. So I want to give you enough time to do that. Okay. So Ekeri asked, could we do a poll to generally find the best times for meetings? Yes. So does anybody have a good tool or idea on how to do that? I'm sure there's something out there.
You could like make a quiz or something.
Thanks, Rick.
That has the different days, like Monday through Friday or whatever, and then the different times. I don't know. And
Actually,
then people can.
I can do this pretty easily. I'll just make a little Qualtrics survey that has, well, I'll find a way. Okay, so that's my assignment. SurveyMonkey has an option. Thank you, Cody Ann. We'll look at that. I'll find a way to do that. And then what I'll do is I won't always have it at the most popular time, but I'll always pick like the 3 most popular times or 4 so that most people can participate. So McKaylee asked, so if we watch it live, we only need to put attended in the top box. You still have to answer 2 and 3. 2 and 3 are C there. Second box and third box are pretty simple. Okay. Hang on 1 second. Okay, Lindsay asked if you show up the meeting late. If that's up to you. If you feel like you did your best to get to the meeting on time, I'm going to count it as attended. So, okay. So let me talk to you about, again, grading philosophy in groups, okay? So this week, every week with the last week, you have a threaded discussion assignment. Everybody's in groups, and the groups could be as big as 4 people, 5 people. The assignment is to make your posts and then to comment on 2 other people's posts. You have until Friday to do that. If you are in an inactive group, meaning you've posted early in the week and you keep waiting for other people to post so you can complete the assignment, here's the trick. I want everybody to listen to this closely, okay? Under your post, reply to yourself 2 times, okay? Reply to yourself 2 times at Friday at 10 o'clock at night because you've got lame people in your group. It's not likely to happen, but just reply to yourself and don't even type anything. Just say, reply, reply. That'll be a sign to me that you've done your best, right? Because I have 150 people in the class. I keep saying that, but I have 3 sections. I can't keep track of that many groups. It's impossible. So, or just let me know. Just say, hey, Brother Davis, I've posted my thing, but my group's not active. Then I'll make sure I don't dock you on that. If for some reason you have any missing work, you're sick, you're getting married, you have a baby, your computer crashes, just let me know and I will work with you. If you hand it in a week late, then you'll get partial credit. If it's 2 weeks late, then you'll get 0 points, okay? 2 times during the semester, I'm going to give you 2 really simple extra credit assignments that are worth 25 points each. So if for some reason you miss something here or there, super easy to make that up with the extra credit. Okay, I missed this slide. This is another Christensen. As we go through the course, I'm going to introduce you to some other books. So don't go out and buy these other books unless for some reason you're inspired to do that. But one of the books that I'm going to refer to often is this book, Clayton Christensen's How Will You Measure Your Life? So just know that this isn't David Christensen, Inner Victory Christensen. This is Clayton Christensen, How Will You Measure Your Life Christensen. And there'll be a couple other books that you will reference. So Kelsey asked, do we need to reply to the Get to Know You posts? You do not. You can if you'd like, but for this week, it's just you posting that for the assignment, okay? And then Danny asked, can you reply to someone else's reply on your own post for credit? Yes, you may, okay? So all I'm looking for, I'm just counting. I can count to 3. Your post, 2 comments. That's all you need to do for that grade, okay? There are a few times during the semester where you're invited to read things, and they are just good reading. They're not part of your grade. 2 times you're going to read talks by Elder Oaks. You're going to read an article by Sister Hafen. Those things will just to kind of support what we're learning in the class. Okay, so from Trevor, it is Friday at midnight. So end of the day, Friday, 12 p.m. Okay. And then I had the question, obviously you guys understood this if you're here. I don't know what percentage of this class is online, not in Rexburg, but it will be Mountain Standard Time. So, all right, that is all that I have. My goal is to give out 151 A's, not 151 A, not 140 A's and 10 A minuses. Okay. Anyway. Oh. So, anyway, any questions that you guys have? Okay, so Cindy's answering a question about where the groups are, and it's on the left-hand side. This is my first semester in Canvas, so I'm learning too. Okay, any questions? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this recording for everybody's benefit, but I will stay on if anybody wants to talk, and we'll see you next week. And I'll look for the survey. I'm going to figure out a way to do a survey for the best times. And I'll send you a link to the book on Amazon in the email that you'll get. All right, thank you.